Brian Banks was wrongfully convicted of rape and as a result spent 5 years of his life behind bars. Banks was a 16-year-old high school student, football star courted by big-time colleges in 2002 when another student at Long Beach Poly High accused him of rape, although his accuser admitted 10 years later that she made up the sexual assault. So he was asked to chime in about this. And remember, he served 5 years behind bars as a result of this wrongful conviction, right? Now, I have to note that he pled no contest because he was worried that a jury would wrongfully convict him and he'd be sentenced to 41 years behind bars. Now, here's what he had to say about Brock Turner, this former Stanford University student who raped an unconscious woman behind a dumpster and only got 6 months in prison as a result. He says, "I would say it's a case of privilege. It seems like the judge based his decision on lifestyle. He's lived such a good life and he has never experienced anything serious in his life that would prepare him for prison. He was sheltered so much that he wouldn't be able to survive prison. What about the kid who has nothing? He struggles to eat, struggles to get a fair education. What about the kid who has no choice, who is born to and has drug-addicted parents or a non-parent household? Where is the consideration for them when they commit a crime? I wasn't physically raped, but I was raped in a sense of my freedom. I was kidnapped, taken against my will, placed in a box for 5 years and 2 months. I was denied all human rights. When I screamed and pleaded and begged, it fell on deaf ears. It's a different form of being assaulted and taken advantage of. I know what she, meaning the victim of Brock Turner, is going through." And I think that Brian Banks makes so many powerful points, especially because he wasn't just robbed of 5 years of his life. He was robbed of his entire future. This was a guy who was going to be a football star, and it was all ripped away from him. And it was because he didn't get the same benefit of the doubt that someone like Brock Turner got.
Banks said that when he was being sentenced, instead of the judge empathizing with him, as Brock Turner's judge did over and over again, he said it was like he was ordering McDonald's at a drive-through window. "Oh, you're a poor African-American kid? Who cares? Off you go." Now, isn't that interesting that Brock Turner faced at most a 14-year sentence? Prosecutors chose not to even go for that. They chose to go for only a 6-year sentence. You know what Brian Banks faced? A 41-year sentence. So now, facing a 41-year sentence, what did they do?
They had him.
They pressured him and said, "You're going to lose the rest of your life." So he pled no contest, where he doesn't admit guilt, okay, but they put him in prison anyway. They gave him 10 years. Now, on the other hand, we got a guilty plea from Brock Turner, 6 months. 10 years, 6 months.
I don't know if he pleaded guilty.
Oh, the Brock Turner.
Brock Turner. We don't know if he pleaded guilty, but he was convicted. He was convicted.
We have a conviction.
Yeah.
So, but by the way, convictions, if you fight it, are supposed to be a longer sentence.
Absolutely.
If Banks had fought it, he would have gotten 41 years.
Yes.
Turner got 6 months. Now, you say, well, you know, Banks, it turns out, didn't do it, but, you know, maybe the situation of that rape when they thought he did it was worse. How much worse could it be than raping an unconscious woman behind a dumpster?
And then trying to run away as soon as 2 witnesses catch you. I mean, it's...
If it was consensual, why are you running away?
That's exactly right. And look, we know that there's a two-tier justice system, partly because judges will treat certain people from a higher socioeconomic status differently, and partly because those from a socioeconomic status like Brock Turner's have the ability to hire the best defense attorneys, right? But I think the bigger issue here is just the fact that we've accepted a system that gives people benefits because they're wealthy. We give people a pass or excuses because they're wealthy, like the affluenza teen, right? Oh, well, you know, he's so privileged that he can't learn from his own consequences. So as a result, we're giving him a pass. This guy, oh, well, he wouldn't do well in prison. It would be really difficult for him. So we're going to give him a pass. When has privilege become an excuse to behave criminally, violently?
Yeah. So it's funny you say that. I was going to bring up the same exact case because the judge's remarks reminded me of the affluenza kid. Well, since he's become accustomed to this rich lifestyle, oh, prison wouldn't, you know, might be too tough for him. So we'll do county jail and we'll do it for 6 months, but he could actually get out in 3 months for time served. So, Well, okay, so what, the rich people, because they're accustomed to already having a life that's awesome, we have to continue to give them that life, even if, in that case of the Affluenza kid, because of his drunk driving, which was brazen and outrageous, 4 people died.
4 people died.
In this case, you've got a conviction on rape, but on the other hand, they're accustomed to being rich. So shouldn't we treat them with kids' gloves? And even though, by the way, he's not a kid, he's 20 years old, whereas kids from inner city are getting adult sentences, actual kids, 14-year-olds, etc. I mean, you can see it. The hypocrisy is so stunning that it's amazing that they can't see it. They're so blinded by their bias. They're like, yeah, it's a Stanford kid. What are you talking about? Oh, it'll hurt his reputation. He's already so badly punished. Oh, it's a black kid or a poor kid? Let's go. I got a lot of cases to get through. Here, go. Decades, and I'm moving on. I don't give a damn about you. You don't look like my son at all. He looks like my son. There, but for the grace of God, goes someone I give a damn about. You don't look like the people I give a damn about at all. Off you go to prison, and I don't give a damn what happens to you in prison. But when it comes to someone I empathize with, oh my God, what'll happen to him in prison? Just try to have the same level of empathy for everyone. Shouldn't be too much to ask for in a democracy.